Aarav and Meera had been enemies since their school days. Every conversation between them ended in an argument, and every glance was filled with hostility. Aarav was the popular, arrogant leader of the student council, while Meera was the intelligent, no nonsense girl who had no patience for his charm. Years passed, and fate brought them together once again in the corporate world. Meera, now a successful marketing executive, was shocked to learn that Aarav was her new boss. The rivalry that had simmered in their teenage years ignited again, more intense than ever. From the very first day, Aarav and Meera were at odds. Their meetings turned into verbal duels, and their disagreements shook the entire office. Yet, beneath the anger, there was an undeniable spark neither of them wanted to acknowledge. Arav, despite his arrogance, couldn't help but admire Meera's intelligence and determination. Meera, despite her dislike for Arav's cocky attitude, found herself noticing his rare moments of sincerity. One day, a major project threatened to collapse unless Arav and Meera worked together. Forced into a truce, they had no choice but to collaborate. Days turned into nights as they spent hours together, arguing, brainstorming, and unknowingly growing closer. During a late night work session, exhaustion got the better of them. Araf saw a vulnerable side of Meera when she opened up about her struggles and ambitions. In return, he shared his own fears and past failures. For the first time, they saw each other not as enemies, but as two people trying to find their place in the world. As their project neared completion, Araf and Meera started seeing each other differently. Their arguments lost their bitterness, replaced by teasing banter. Araf found himself waiting for Meera's witty remarks, and Meera secretly enjoyed Arav's playful challenges. One evening, while celebrating the project's success, Araf and Meera were caught in the rain. The cold breeze, the dim city lights, and the rhythmic sound of raindrops created a moment neither could escape. In that fleeting instant, hatred melted into something unspoken, something neither was ready to admit. Meera found herself thinking about Arav more than she wanted to. Every time he smiled at her, her heart raced against her will. Arav too was struggling. The woman he once considered his biggest annoyance was now occupying his every thought. A misunderstanding, however, threatened to tear them apart. Meera overheard a conversation where Araf mentioned that their partnership was just a temporary alliance. Hurt and betrayed, she distanced herself from him, believing that everything had been a lie. Araf couldn't understand why Meera had suddenly withdrawn. When he finally confronted her, she lashed out, accusing him of playing with her feelings. It was then that Araf realized the truth. He didn't just enjoy Meera's presence, he had fallen in love with her. Determined to win her trust back, Araf set out on a mission to prove his feelings. He surprised her with small gestures, her favorite coffee, a note on her desk, a book she had wanted for weeks. But Meera was afraid to let her guard down again. Araf finally laid everything bare. One evening, he stood outside Meera's apartment in the pouring rain, confessing his love. He admitted his mistakes, his fears, and his undeniable love for her. Meera, despite everything, knew deep down that she felt the same way. With tears in her eyes and a heart pounding in her chest, Meera took a step forward. Arav held his breath as she whispered, "I hate how much I love you." And with that, the walls between them crumbled, and love found its way where hatred once reigned.